hello to every single wonderful person out there on the internet watching the new episode of Take the Black Live, the only show on the internet where we, or rather me, talk about things like dragons, robots, sci-fi, fantasy, movies, and TV. My name is Dan Selcke, and I am the editor of WiC.net. Usually, I am here with another person named Daniel Roman, but not today because he is dead. Tired of driving such a long distance to his family's place for Thanksgiving. This is our Thanksgiving special episode. It's just me. It's just you out there in the dark, rapping, talking, chatting. It might be a little shorter or longer if I end up liking the sound of my own voice a lot. Just keep on just rambling on and on and on. That could never possibly happen, though. Anyway, thanks you guys for coming. Hello, Christian. Hello, Martha. Hello, Julie. And don't get back at me. Yeah. So the other week, I'm gone, and Daniel, just gets Natalie to fill in while I'm gone, as if I could be replaced. And this time, Daniel can't make it, and I'm saying, no, I don't need anybody for any reason, ever. This could get really bad, you guys, from here alone. I don't know what's going to happen. Happy to see everybody. This will be a kind of a briefer Thanksgiving special episode. But of course, I wanted to see what you guys are watching. I wanted to share a little bit about what I'm watching. I want you guys' questions. Just pretend this is vodka, Julie. It'll be a drinking episode, more or less. We could just get the long holiday started right. And I wanted to share with you all and share with myself that I really enjoyed the television show Star Wars Andor. It ended today. I didn't cry, but I came close. This is a wonderful show. This is a show that takes itself very seriously. And when I hear myself, no help, don't need anybody, no one, so lonely. But yeah, Julie, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and I will be there. That's why Daniel isn't here, because he's driving en route. He was going to be here, but then sometimes Google Maps makes fools of us all, and the road not taken is the one we end up traveling down, whether we planned it or not. But now that I have extolled the virtues of Star Wars Andor, I want you to know that we will get a visit from Daniel today, because as it happens, yesterday, we got online with a special guest to talk about the final ever episode of The Walking Dead, which is a, long-running, decade-plus zombie show that has been going on for 11 seasons. It ended forever and always, a little bit kind of, this past Sunday. We wanted to talk about it, and we actually pre-recorded a segment all about The Walking Dead and its ending, what it means for us, what it means for America, what it means for the future of the human race. And Daniel was there for that one. Get the pleasure of seeing him, even though I'm all you will ever need. Anyway, let's take a jump into the very recent past and see what we thought of The Walking Dead series finale.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the segment we just set up. We're here talking with Renee Hansen of Undead Walking, Winter's Coming sister site, all about all things Walking Dead and zombies. Renee, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good here a day before the live show, Time Travel. Woo! And we wanted to have you on because The Walking Dead has ended after 11 seasons, over a decade on the air. Neither Daniel nor I are current with it, and there was just no way we couldn't talk about it, though, because The Walking Dead has been a staple of TV for a long time. And to see it go, even me, someone who isn't really up on everything Walking Dead, was like, whoa, The Walking Dead is ending. That's been on TV forever. I've remembered that forever. So I guess, Renee, as a Walking Dead, expert, I'm going to call you a Walking Dead expert. I guess the first question is, what did you think? Just initial reactions to the series finale. Rest in peace.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised. I had been very vocal about feeling like they weren't going to have enough time to wrap this up and satisfy fans. So I had been, kind of like, guys, just let's prepare ourselves for this. And I was, very, very pleasantly surprised with how they wrapped things, how they segued into, one of the new spinoffs, how, I was very pleased.
Good. I'm glad to hear. That seems to be the general impressions that I'm getting, that a lot of folk, like, you almost get the sense that like they were bracing for like crash positions, and then it ended up being good. Like, Daniel, do you have a thing?
Yeah, well, it's fascinating. You brought up the spinoffs, and kind of the big question that I've had is, did The Walking Dead, did it sacrifice its finale for the sake of setting up the spinoffs? So you said it set up at least one of them pretty well. So do you feel like it was a satisfying ending that didn't just totally feel like a launch pad for all these other shows that AMC wants to do?
That in a way it did. So I think what they did was very good, but they definitely set up two of the spinoffs. But I don't think they spent a lot of time on that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think it was an overkill or the whole thing was leading to those. I've heard a lot of things, people that negative comments have been, well, all they did was set up those spinoffs. But I don't think they spent too much time on that. I think I thought it was very nicely done.
Were there moments that stood out to you as either good or bad? Hopefully good. Just keeping positive about this the end of the historic series.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there were some deaths, so that was, tragic. But it's the final it's the series finale. Yeah. Someone's dying. So I was surprised there weren't more.
Need it.
Yeah, I was surprised there weren't more deaths, I guess. But overall, there was a great scene between Negan and Maggie that was kind of a comic book conversation, about Glenn and how she every time she tries to remember Glenn, all she can think of is his death and Negan smiling. And this is to Negan. She's saying this, and it was a brutal conversation, especially because we know these two characters are going to have their own spinoff. So it's still like, how do they come together? How do they come together? That's the big question. And that was beautifully done. It was gut wrenching to hear her say those things to him. Finally, get to say those things, and but it was so well done. And there was Carol and Daryl fans loved the Carol and Daryl scene. There was a beautiful, them talking about everything, and they're the two OGs. They have been there
from the first.
Season 1, episode 3. Though they came on together and. The whole, that's a lot of episodes. So there were many standout. I say more positive than negative. The negative things maybe just a little nitpicky and things. I'm trying to think. Oh, another one that I love. I'm sorry.
Oh no, keep it going, and then we'll go negative.
Okay, perfect. So. Well, this is, I don't know, not really negative. I don't know what it is, but it was an awesome scene. So Lance Hornsby, who was played by Josh Hamilton, had died previously. And I interviewed him recently, and I kind of asked, so will we see you back? We didn't see, you weren't shot in the head. Do we see you come back? Right. And of course he couldn't answer. He did come back as a walker. And it was it was such a cool scene. Yeah. So that was super cool. Another thing that I loved so much was Greg Nicotero, who is a director and the special effects guru. He often plays a walker, and he actually was a walker in Daryl Dixon's first scene, and he was a walker in Daryl Dixon's final scene. So it was like it all came full circle kind of thing. Yeah.
I do like that. So, would you say that it sounds like you were enthusiastic about like the quieter talky scenes? Did you say that if you had to choose like the kind of talky, intimate character moments versus, because I know there was like action, there was the Commonwealth being exploded.
Yes.
Did one have more impact than the other on you? Just curious.
Probably the quieter scene, I mean, of course, the action, you love the action, but there were just good moments that made you feel like you were getting a little closure with some of these things that, you know, we don't know if we're going to see a lot of these characters. I mean, we know, you know, several of them, and there's whispers of, you know, other ones showing up in the Daryl series and things like that, but we're not for certain. So it's it was good to see some closure with some of those characters.
Can I ask, you know, for a long time there had been like the rumbles of the Rick Grimes movies and stuff like that. So this is getting into spoilers. So if you're watching, like, and you don't want the spoilers, close your ears for a second. So Rick and Michonne came back, right? How do you feel they pulled that off? Did you know, as someone who's been watching this for years and who saw Rick go away and then saw Michonne go away, did that feel like the payoff you'd always hoped for in having them come back? What was that like?
So again, this was another thing that I've been very vocal about. I didn't expect to see Rick at all because of the announcement of the spinoff. I mean, up until that point, I kept thinking, okay, they have to bring him back. This has to come back to Rick. It all started with him, needs to end with him. But when they announced that spinoff, I was like, they're not going to bring him back. They're just not going to do it. So I was ecstatic to see him return. Cool. And it was the most beautifully done scene that they have done in a very long time, because I won't give you everything, but they, you know, they showed it from Michonne's point of view. Like, they're showing you them doing their tasks together at this, like, he's lighting a fire, she's lighting a fire. He's writing a letter to her, she's writing a journal entry to Judith. So they're like doing similar tasks. And at one point you almost feel, are they together? You see this scene and you think, wait a minute, are they together? And then you find out everything kind of expands back, and you see these are in different timelines even. Hers is in the present and his was in the past. It was cool as anything. And it brought pieces together.
Oh, wow.
There were clues and hints that even talked to, that kind of tied in.
Saying like, I'm gonna leave for a while. Catch me on, you know, Sundays at 8 p.m. on AMC. Or did it feel like they weren't basically, like, they were treating the episode as a proper finale?
Like I said, I'm overjoyed with what they did, because I was really bracing, like you said, bracing myself to be like, no, just so let down. And I didn't want to be let down. I mean, obviously this series, my career is I do all this, you know, stuff. I dedicate a lot of time to this. I needed this to be good. And it was just, I mean, it's how many days later and I'm still just writing all these articles because then I'll think of something else, you know? And so I think they did it justice to the current story to feel like some of those doors closed. Like you said, some of them were like a door closed, window open, because you know this is going to be happening. So I just
I know how you feel. Like, because the winter's coming, Game of Thrones site. Thank God the spinoff was good. Like, thank God.
Yes,
would have been a problem.
Yeah.
I have kind of like a big final question for you. This is a big one. What do you think the legacy of The Walking Dead is or will be going into the bright, bold future?
That's broad.
Yeah.
Broad. You have 20 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. Well, gosh, that's a tough one, because, you know, you've got so much coming that you don't.
True.
You know, it was always supposed to be Carl. And that didn't happen, except he did have a cameo in the finale. If you didn't hear that.
I heard that. Yeah, that was
cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Not Carl, but Chandler. But
Chandler was,
yeah. But you know, it's really hard. I don't know. I really don't know. That's a very difficult question, because we don't know these spinoffs are going to be so different. They're going to be so, you know, Judith has kind of taken on that role where Carl, you know, which has been, you know, nice for fans because it's at least a Grimes child, or, you know, raised child. And so, I really don't know how to answer that question because of just the vast differences on these three, from what we're hearing from these three series. They're just going to be so completely different. And you don't know what's going to spawn from those even, or other characters, or, I mean, you got Fear the Walking Dead in there. You got Tales of Walking Dead in there. I mean, because Fear's filming its 8th season right now. So it's just huge.
Daniel, do you have any other questions for her before we close the book on The Walking Dead and open a new book entitled The Walking Dead Continuing Adventures of Spinoff People?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of leads into my question, which is, so does this feel like the end? Does this feel like the end of The Walking Dead, or not really?
To me, it doesn't, because they're, they set it up nicely to where you're wanting more. Of course, we all want more,
Sure.
but there'll be different. It'll be new, But I think it set it up to, I mean, Rick is, everyone's wanted to see Rick come back. That's just been,
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And even if he isn't your favorite, he's still Rick, And so, yeah, I think to me, it just didn't. I know it's an end, and I teared up in a lot of spots in the finale and things. I was at a viewing party with these like 200 people, so it was amazing.
Nice. Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it just didn't feel like the end, because I know there's more to come. So for me, it didn't feel like the end. Right. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about the finale before we
so much? And it's a good example of when's the right time to get out, Timing is everything in life, as in Boggle, and it's important to know when you want to leave. And I think The Walking Dead might overstate it a bit, but as Julie says, you're looking forward to the spin-offs, so there'll be a lot more to talk about one way or the other. Is anybody out there watching anything else or plan to watch anything over the Thanksgiving break, or Julie, as Julie knows it, the weekend? Because, here in the States, we have this big 3 to 4 day relaxation fest where we just kind of chill out and stuff our faces with turkey, stuffing, in my case, a lot of chocolate, watch TV, say that we're going to go outside with the family in the lawn and play touch football, but that might just end up being tossing bags into a board. Richard apologizes for the connection issues. I'm doing great, but we cannot be perfect. I'm probably going to watch more of The White Lotus. I'm going to watch. Everything on my radar right now. I finished Andor, so I'm good with that. The Walking Dead. I'll catch up on that, and that's really what I have planned. How about you? If anybody else out there has anything they're planning to watch during the Thanksgiving break, let me know. Martha, what did you think of it? I'm curious. I watched Interview with the Vampire, loved it, would recommend very hard. Oh, you know what I'm going to watch? I got this. I'm not sure if I should be telling you guys this, but I will tell you that I have screeners for the third and final season of His Dark Materials on HBO, which is a fantasy show that maybe hasn't quite blown up enormously, but it's big, and it's based on a very great series of books. And they have the third season coming up. And in December, I got it early. I'm going to watch that. So I'll watch that. That'll be fun. And as Jay says, $8.99 is great. Question? I'm not sure because I haven't seen it, but it's definitely a thing that people are enjoying, watching, rhapsodizing about. And I think Yellowstone's on right now, too. Another big show I haven't gotten around to. But yeah, my Thanksgiving break, His Materials, looking forward to that very hard. And if Daniel were here, I'm sure he'd say that I'm going to watch, Avatar once, twice, 3 times a blue lady, a few times preparation for the new movie, but he's not here, so I'll say it for him. Daniel Roman will watch Avatar at least 3 times over the Thanksgiving break, and then 4 more Christmas break. Martha asked, what do I think of Snow January 1st? Do you mean the TV show Snow or snow falling from the sky on January 1st? Either way, I'm into it. And yeah, Dark. I gotta watch Dark too, says Jay Patel. I heard about that a lot. Anyway, this is a bit of a slimmer show, guys. It's not quite as long, not quite as complicated, because I can't talk to myself. None of us like Daniel Roman, but he does provide like a good sounding board to kind of bounce your opinions off of. And him not being here, I'll say it, something's missing. Not much, but something. So why don't we go on, unless you guys have comments, questions. Julie Davies watching The Peripheral. By the way, I'm joking about Daniel Roman. Love Daniel Roman. All jokes. If you're watching Daniel, that's a joke. You're a super dude. Julie Davies watching The Peripheral, which it's fun. I'll watch that over Thanksgiving break. Actually, yeah, that's like a good one to dip into. And Jon Snow, there's no way Jon Snow is coming on January 1st. It's just not happening. but if it did, that would be crazy. Thank you all. Thanksgiving Eve is a good party night, Christian. They call it Black Wednesday. And I'm just going to keep my plans quiet for legal reasons, but it should be a good time. Why don't we go into the final WiC News Lightning Round of the day before we leave for Thanksgiving break? We're going to bring on special guest host, producer Richard, to ask some questions, and I'm going to give my 20-second responses to all of them, and you out there can give your 20-second responses and see if you finish before, after the exact same time as me. Richard, are we going to do this?
I think we are, Dan. I'm ready to do this. Sorry for the connection issues, everyone. I'm the problem.
It's producer Richard. Check him out. Look at him. Look at how beautiful his room is. God, I got to get some cool lighting like that. Oh, it looks so neat. It's blue light in the back. It's not blue light in the front. Oh, the sweater is cool. I'm wearing just so boring. I have this base picture behind me. It doesn't mean anything. Which room is so cool? Clap for Richard's room, everybody. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Richard.
All right, guys.
With some lightning round.
Let's do it. 20 seconds on the clock, Dan. Ready? Are you ready, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just ready. All right. Former Disney CEO Bob Iger replaces current Disney CEO Bob Chapek, who replaced former Disney CEO Bob Iger in the first place. A little 360 there, huh?
This is huge news. This is no joke. So this is the CEO of Disney. Bob Iger was there for like 15 years. He bought Pixar, bought Lucasfilm. He bought Marvel Studios. This guy exploded Disney to unprecedented proportions. He left because he's old. He got replaced with Bob Chapek. And then Bob Chapek, they kicked him out, and Bob Iger came back. This is a big move. Disney.
Back at it again. Topic number 2, WiC News Lightning Round. 20 seconds on the clock. Avatar, The Way of Water, needs to make at least $2 billion to break even. Yikes.
So this is Bob Iger's new baby, Avatar: The Way of Water, Daniel Roman TM. It's a new movie coming out. It's Avatar, biggest movie in the world. It's maybe the most highest grossing film in the world. It's the commitment to going big or going home is going to be tested. Eventually, one of these things is going to tank, and things are going to change. Superheroes are going to go out of business.
Buzz.
But for now, they just keeps growing.
You're done.
It's much harder to keep going when you actually physically say buzz.
Sorry.
You can talk back to me. The real buzzers can't.
It was the one thing we didn't test out.
It's great. It's good.
It's the one thing we didn't check during our pre-stream check. All right. Let's see. We got number 3 here. Millie Gibson will play Ruby Sunday, the Doctor's new companion on Doctor Who.
That's cool. So Doctor Who, obviously, another long-running show. Walking Dead, not nearly as much. Doctor Who's going in the 60s. Millie Gibson, Ruby Sunday, funny name, whimsical, too whimsical, you decide. That is Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, also an important thing. That's The Last of Us. That's Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday. Just Doctor Who, big show, coming back next year for season 14, I think, of the revival. She looks a lot like Rose Tyler from the original revival, I think.
Yeah,
probably on purpose. I imagine they're doing it. Okay, go on.
All right, let's go. Next one. This one's fun. All right. New Alien movie may have found its star in Kaylee Spaney. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Okay, I put this on here for Daniel. I don't know about Alien, but yeah, Hulu's making a new Alien movie. No, I can do it. They made a new Predator movie, which those two stars are linked, and that was a success. Daniel Roman loved it. That guy in classes. And I imagine the new Alien movie, if it's as successful as Prey.
Dan, no more.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Lovecraft Country director Jan Demange will direct Marvel's Blade movie.
Yeah, another big kind of turnover thing. They had Bassem Tariq as a director of the Blade movie, starring Mahershala Ali, Oscar-winner Mahershala Ali. They canned him. He left because of creative differences. And then they had to bring in a new guy. Usually not a great sign. And I'm just saying, the movie director is leaving, they have to replace him. The CEO is leaving, they have to replace him. Things are a little cacophonous over over there at Disney right now, and I hope they come out of it unscathed. That was very good.
I'll give that to you. You won that one.
I'm getting better at this.
Let's go. All right, now this is fun. There's a study. Someone did a study on this one. 1/3 of Marvel fans feel superhero fatigue.
I mean, I know I do. People watching, do you feel superhero fatigue? Or if you took the study, would you have said yes? I feel it. I haven't been to, I didn't see Black Panther 2. I haven't been to see a super movie in a while. And I think they're going to have to reckon with that, probably sooner rather than later, because the gravy train can't go forever. And they're going to lose money. And it's going to
Gravy train's the last thing we get to have on the docket there. That's all we got to hear from that one. All right, next one. Guess what, guys? It's Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones 5.
Look at Harrison Ford, 80 years young. Indiana Jones 5. He looks fine. Apparently, the movie is set in the late 60s, but he's fighting Nazis. He's fighting Nazis who just didn't die and just became U.S. scientists now. Yeah, cool. Because the last one he fought Soviets, which again, really?
Yeah,
I had so much more to say about that.
Dan, you're really not good at this. Okay. All right, let's go. Next one. House of the Dragon Season 1 physical release may have deleted scenes after all.
Yeah, so for a while we thought there were no deleted scenes. I mean, we know there are deleted scenes, but we didn't think they were going to be on the DVD, Blu-ray, whatever you get it, physical, digital download, probably home video release. But apparently they're doing this stupid thing where they do have them, but they bundle them into a longer featurette. I don't like that. I think it should be separate. But at least they'll be there. So you will see. That's pretty much done.
Yeah, that's good enough. I got the point of that one. All right, this one's gonna make some Marvel fans unhappy. But Quentin Tarantino says Marvel actors aren't movie stars. What are they?
They're actors. He's right, by the way. I mean, his point is that they don't draw you to a movie the way that Arnold Schwarzenegger did back in the day. That you don't go see a movie because Chris Evans is in it the way you do because The Rock is in it. That's accurate. It's true. It's not good or bad. It's just kind of true. The draw from our movies is the story and the next chapter. It's not because Scarlett Johansson's pretty big.
Yeah, buzzed.
And there's
I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you, Dan. All right. Last one. Yeah. You kept this one real simple.
Last one.
All you wrote down is poster for The Last of Us.
Yeah. Well, what else do you need to say? The Last of Us, the next big HBO series, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm almost a little unsettled that they're marketing it now because I thought this would be their marquee thing. And it will be January 15th. Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, zombies, we're playing video game. Gonna watch it. Hopefully I'll love it. Gonna cover it extensively. And you know what I feel about that. Richard, this is so much fun having you on. I love your room. Why can't this room look as cool as this? What are you doing?
I just bought a nice camera, Dan.
Did you just look that cool all the time?
It's just a nice camera and some lighting.
A nice camera. Okay, I need some lighting. All right, well, I'll pick your brain later about how to make this look marginally better over here. I have lights on. They just don't make me look as good as they make you look.
I think you look great, Dan. Everyone agrees, right? Everyone? Dan looks great.
Everyone agrees? Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. I know this was a bit of an odd one, a bit of a short one. Thank you for Richard for coming in here and showing off your setup, showing off your long hair, showing off your blue light, and helping me with the WiC Lightning Round and producing every week, which I am extremely, very much thankful for. Don't do anything. I don't talking about that long hair comment. We stream live Take the Black every week on the Winners Coming Facebook page and the Winners Coming YouTube page at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be next week for a longer, proper show with Daniel Roman back in the driver's seat, Richard behind the keyboard, behind the magic, but still very much a part of the magic. You can also download us wherever podcasts are downloadable, be it Google Play, iTunes, etc. And see you on the other side of Thanksgiving. Gobble, 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 gobble.